Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's video. Today is going to be kind of a combo of a vlog and a tutorial because I'm afraid to call this a tutorial because it's technically like a filet crochet tutorial, but I feel extremely unqualified since the only experience I have with filet crochet was me trying it out for like 30 minutes yesterday. So I fear I may be unqualified to have a full-blown tutorial, but I am kind of going to go over how I am making this. I'm not sure if it's going to be a short sleeve top or if it's going to be a sleeveless or if I'm going to make sleeves with it. But now that it's coming into like warmer months, I'm afraid to make it sleeved. I'm thinking more like a short sleeve, like a little cap sleeve, or possibly no sleeves at all. So I am going to run you through the process, but am I going to call it a tutorial? We'll see how it goes. Oh, but before we do that, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the sponsor of this video, Craftsy. Craftsy is an online community of like-minded, imaginative creators where members can find endless inspiration, advance their skills, and discover their favorite new hobby. They have over 2,000 classes with simple step-by-step instructions and more than 20 creative categories like crocheting, knitting, sewing, baking, painting, and more. As many of you know, this year I challenged myself to learn how to knit. So far, I have made 2 paneled sweaters, but I really want to next learn how to make a raglan sweater. I was actually able to find the perfect course on Craftsy to do just that. She so clearly explains how to work the yoke, make all the necessary increases, which was literally so intimidating to me when I tried to do it myself, how to add subtle shaping to your sleeves, and she even explains how to weave in your ends and block it once you're all finished. Also, I really enjoyed watching this course called Essential Techniques That Every Knitter Should Know. I learned so much about increasing, decreasing, gauge, invisible seams, and different bind-off methods like the stretchy bind-off, which literally would have come so in handy when I was making my last sweater that I made, the moon one. I made my bind-off so tight I could not even get my head through the neck hole. I had to cut the neck and redo it. It was slightly traumatizing. If you want to give Craftsy a try, the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will receive a full premium membership of Craftsy for only $1.49 for the entire year, which is an insanely good deal. However, this offer is only valid for new members. So this is the pattern that I'm going to be using for my top, and I counted the boxes because the first thing you have to do with filet crochet is count the bottom row of boxes. This row, wow, I cannot draw a straight line to save my life. Wow. Okay, well, that bottom row right there, whatever graph you're using, it doesn't matter if you're using this graph, which I will have a link to this specific graph if you want to use this one, but it doesn't matter whatever graph you're using, you need to count the bottom boxes. So I counted my bottom boxes and there is 70 boxes. So that means we are going to double that amount. So 70 times 2 is 140. So that means our first initial chain needs to be 140. A chain of 140 is a lot. And if I were to hear that, if I was using a worsted weight yarn, I would be like, okay, that's not going to work. I'll have to choose a smaller pattern. But since this is filet crochet and you use a much tinier yarn, this is a super fine, I believe, Rainbow Cotton 8.4. It's 100% cotton from Hobie. Definitely use a size 1. I know a lot of people use even thread, but using crochet thread, honestly, to me is kind of not as enjoyable. So I'm going to see how much a chain of 140 is, because if it's way too much, then we have to pick a different pattern. Then I have to pick a different pattern. But a chain of 140, I kind of wanted to go from here to here. There's no way a chain of 140 is not going to go from here to here. So I probably have to pick another pattern, but let's just see. I'm going to go ahead and chain 140. So I'm making a slip knot, as you do. I have a 3.5mm hook, which is what my yarn recommends. So I'm going to go ahead and just chain 140 and see how big it actually is. Okay, this is 71. Yeah, 140. It's not gonna work. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Let me look for a different pattern. I think it was my delusion making me think that this pattern would work because I want it to so badly. But I'm just gonna look through all of my patterns that I have here on my saved folder one more time and see if there's any that have like maybe 40, because then 40 obviously doubled is around 80, and I think that would work a lot better. So let me just do some looking around and see what I can find. This one is another really good possibility. It is 25 across, which is 50, which is technically not enough, but I can add boxes on either side to make it work. So this one is a good possibility. Okay, this pattern right here, this one might work. Let me go ahead and count how many across it is. I found this on, I'm finding all of my graph patterns like this on Pinterest. So let me just go ahead and count the boxes. This row right here. Always count the bottom row right here and see how many there are, and then of course you have to multiply that by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and count those real fast. It is 45 boxes across, so then that would be 90, which is kind of, I don't know. Let me go ahead and chain 90 and see what it looks like. Okay, so this is the chain of 90. I think it's gonna work. I think we're gonna make it work. I think this is gonna be good. So this is my chain of 90. So basically, you just count all the bottom boxes, the bottom row of boxes, and then multiply it by 2. And then you're always going to chain an extra 1. And then for the turning chain, I'm going to chain an extra 2. So in total, I have 93 chains. So my chain of 90, which is my bottom row of boxes multiplied by 2, so it was 45, then I multiplied that by 2, which is 90. And then I chained an extra 1 to start the first box, and then I chained an extra 2 for the turning chain. So I have 90 plus the 1, and then plus 2 more for the turning chain. So a total of 93 chains. So now I'm going to skip 2 chains and go into the third with a double crochet. There we go. And then in every single chain, all the way across, I'm going to put 1 double crochet in every single chain. And I'm doing this row of 1 double crochet in every chain because I like to have the solid double crochets to go into starting my filet crochet pattern rather than just the chains. And I realized this when I made my first tapestry crochet. I liked to have a solid base for my tapestry crochet to start. So that is why I am doing this. But in hindsight, I'm kind of thinking that I wish I had done a single crochet border so it's less noticeable, but that's okay. It's okay. Also, real fast, I wanted to show you what I made yesterday. This is my first filet crochet pattern, and yesterday I was really overthinking it, and I was like, I have no idea what it even looks like. Okay, tell me what it looks like before I tell you what it is. Go ahead. It's a dragonfly. Did you say dragonfly? Because Jessie immediately saw it and said dragonfly. So yeah, I think she's really cutie. So this was my practice, my first ever filet crochet. And now all of a sudden I feel like I am qualified to teach a whole tutorial. But, you know, maybe I can. We don't know. So I am going to bring you guys overhead once I am done with this row of double crochet. I'm going to bring you guys to my overhead setup so you can see more of what I'm doing. Okay, so I actually switched over to a half double crochet in every chain instead of a double crochet, and I like it better. I like that it's less tall. The double crochet is a bit too tall, and I'm not as much a fan. So you do the exact same thing that I just explained, the 90 chains plus the 1 chain and then plus the 2 chains to the turning chain, but instead of a double crochet in every chain, do a half double crochet, or you can do a double crochet if you like that look better, but I'm just doing the exact same thing, just putting a half double crochet instead of a double crochet. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, putting one half double crochet in every chain, and then we'll switch to the overhead setup and I'll show you more of what I'm doing. Okay, here I have my row of half double crochets, and now I'm going to show you guys, kind of just run through the basics of filet crochet and kind of what I have learned so far. Okay, so here is my graph pattern, and as you can see we have filled in blocks and blank blocks. Now these blank blocks here, I'm just going to zoom in and I'm going to make the opacity down so I can draw over it and show you guys. So one of these blocks equals a double crochet, a chain, and a double crochet. So that is what this block is. And then this next block is also a chain and a double crochet, but it shares the double crochet from the previous block, if you can see. So basically, as you can see, what this block is a chain. This upper line here of the box is the chain. And then these two lines on the outside of the chain are double crochets. And then of course that is a chain as well. So this kind of visualization for me, it kind of clicked in my brain and I was like, okay, so if I can visualize that these lines here on the block are all the double crochets and then the upper line here is the chain, then that makes so much more sense to me and I can visualize it so much better because I am a visual learner. So that is kind of what made filet crochet a lot more feasible to me. So that is what all the blank blocks are. It's just a chain, double crochet, chain, double crochet, chain, double crochet. Okay, so now as you can see here, we have reached almost a filled in block. Now a filled in block is very simple. So as you can see, we have our upwards line here. So I'm just gonna bring in my chain there. And then on the outside of the filled in box, of course, is a double crochet. So for these closed boxes, these filled in boxes, we're going to fill in this space with a double crochet instead of a chain. And then of course on the outside of the box, we're going to put our double crochet. And now we're reaching a open box, so we're going to again do our chain. And then on the outside, of course, of our box, we have to have our double crochet. And now we have a filled in box. So to fill in the box, we're going to fill it with a double crochet. And then of course on the other side of the box, we have another double crochet. And then a chain, of course, for our open boxes, and a double crochet, chain, double crochet, chain, double crochet, chain, double crochet, and so on and so forth, all the way down, because I believe, yeah, they're all open boxes all the way down again. So it's all technically, once you visualize it in this way, it's a lot more simple. What you do is you just fill in the closed boxes with a double crochet rather than a chain. So all of these are just mesh stitches, and then to fill in the mesh, you put a double crochet. So it's all, honestly, once you get going with it, it makes a lot more sense. So let me show you on my dragonfly that I made. So as you can see here on the bottom row, we have the double crochet, chain one, double crochet mesh, just one entire row of that. And then as you can see here, this little area right here is a closed box because I filled it in with a double crochet. Let me just bring that up here. As you can see here, these two double crochets match up with the previous row's double crochets, and I just, in that chain one space here to fill in the gap for the closed box on our graph, I just put a double crochet to fill it in. And I'm hoping all of that is going to make more sense as we continue on with the tutorial, but I kind of wanted to, if you guys are a visual learner as well, kind of explain it in that way so it'll be easier, more feasible, not as intimidating to start. So that is just what helped me visualize it better was to think, okay, so this is a mesh stitch, but I'm just filling in the boxes, the closed boxes, once I get to them. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I will have the link to this particular graph in my description, so if you want to go ahead and go download that, you can do that right now. So I'm going to start my graph going from left to right. As you can see, we have a bunch of open boxes until we get to our first closed box. So I'm just going to go ahead and count how many open boxes I have until I get to my closed box. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So I have 26 open boxes until I get to my first closed box. So, just going to set this aside for now. And I'm going to start off with a chain of 2 for my turning chain. This chain of 2 does not count as a double crochet. So I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and in that first stitch, this one right here, I'm going to put my first double crochet. And then I'm going to chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, and so on and so forth until I have 26 boxes. So right now I have 1, 2, 3. You're not counting your double crochets. You're not counting your double crochets because then you would be off. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be off. What you're counting right now is your boxes to see. And I'm just going to keep on going with this mesh pattern until I have 26 boxes. As you can see here, we have 1 box, 2, and 3. We have 1, 2, 3 boxes so far. You're not going to count your double crochets because then you're going to be off. What you're going to count are your boxes. As you can see here on our pattern, we counted the boxes, not the lines, the boxes. So I'm going to keep on going with this mesh pattern until I have 26 boxes total. And here's what we have so far. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, and so on and so forth until we have 26 boxes. Okay, so let's count, make sure I have 26 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So now I have 26 boxes. Up next on our graph pattern, as you can see, is a closed box. So what we're going to do, as you can see in the previous boxes, we have our double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And right now we are at this double crochet here. This one right here. That's this one. So now, instead of chaining 1, I'm going to fill in this box, this spot here, with a double crochet. So putting a double crochet. So the double crochet I just made is the one that I'm filling this box with. And now I'm going to make another double crochet to close in that box because each box is made up of a double crochet, chain one, double crochet technically. So this is our double crochet. Then we filled the box. Instead of doing a chain one, we filled that mesh stitch, we filled the box with a double crochet, and then we closed the box by putting another double crochet next to it. So that double crochet we just did was this one right here. And now, as you can see, we're back into doing a mesh. So now I'm going to go ahead and chain one, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet to make another box, which is this one right here. So we just did that. And now we have come across another closed box. So we're going to go ahead and fill it with a double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I have to make my next double crochet in the line. Just like that. So the double crochet I just made here is this one right here on the line, the outward line here of this box. And now, as you can see up next, we have an open box and a top line that we are going to do a chain. And then this line right here, this next line, of course, is a double crochet. So we're going to skip the next stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. And now for the rest of the row, we have just the same mesh pattern that we did all the way over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just repeat that all the way down for the rest of row one. Okay, so there we have our first row completed. So I'm actually going to go ahead and count all of these open boxes here and make sure that I have the right amount, just because if you mess up the first row, then all the rest of the rows are going to be messed up. So make sure that the first row is perfect before you continue on. So I'm going to go ahead and count all of these open boxes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So now I should have 16 open boxes here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yay! That's always so exciting when everything works out. So I'm just going to get rid of all of these lines here. I am just going to cross out the first row because we have finished our first row. And now we're going to go this way. So basically, we start going from left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left, and so on and so forth, just zigzagging all the way up. This second row is technically the same exact row as the first row, so we're just basically going to be repeating the exact same thing, just reversed since we're going from right to left now. So to start the next row, I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and again, in that same stitch that the chain 2 is in, I'm going to put a double crochet, my first double crochet, chain 1, skip the previous row's chain 1 space, go into that next double crochet, chain 1, skip that chain 1 gap, go into the next double crochet, and remember there were 16 open blocks here, so I'm going to go ahead and make 16 blocks of our mesh, just the same way that we've been doing, double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet, just the same way that we've been doing it. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, go into the top of the previous row's double crochet, and so on and so forth until we have 16 blocks. And 16. So I have my 16 open boxes. So now we have our filled in box, which is of course our double crochet on the outside of the filled in box. and then we're going to fill in the box with a double crochet. And then a double crochet on the outside of the box that is also shared with our next open box here. As you can see, both of these two boxes share the double crochet here. So then I'm going to, as you can see, we have an open box next. So I'm going to chain one, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. And then as you can see, again, we have a double crochet next. Oops, sorry, I'm erasing. So then as you can see, we completed our open box. And now we have next a closed box. So we're going to fill that box with a double crochet and then put another double crochet to finish the box. So as you can see here, again, both of these two boxes share this double crochet. So I already have that double crochet up. So I'm going to fill the box with a double crochet instead of a chain one. And then close the box with another double crochet that is going to be shared with our next box. The double crochet that we just made here is this double crochet right here. So now, again, we are going to make mesh stitches, I believe, yes, all the way down again. And I believe last time there was 26 here, so there should be 26 boxes again all the way down. So I'm just going to go ahead and chain one, skip a stitch, go into the next or the previous row's double crochet with a double crochet, chain one, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, chain one, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, chain one, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, all the way down until you have 26 total boxes. Okay, so I finished the second row, so I'm just going to go ahead and cross it out. Wow, that was not very straight. Oh my goodness. Again, I cannot make a very good straight line. Okay, so now we are going to be, again, going left to right on our graph. So as you can see, we have a different amount of open boxes as we did for the previous two rows. So I'm just going to go ahead and count how many open boxes we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 16 open boxes this time. So again, to start our row, we always chain two, turn our work, and in the same stitch that the chain two is in, we are going to put a double crochet, chain one now, skip, go into the next, and now we have a total of one block, chain one, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, two blocks, chain one, skip a stitch, go into the next, the double crochet. Now we have 3 blocks, and I'm just going to continue on with this same mesh pattern until I have 16 total open blocks. Okay, I have my 16 total blocks here. And now as you can see, we have 2 closed boxes. So we just had our double crochet, chain one, double crochet, and this double crochet here is this double crochet here. So now we're going to be doing 2 filled in boxes in a row. So that means we have the double crochet here that we made to finish this box that is also going to be shared with this closed box, and then we're going to fill it with a double crochet and then another double crochet. And now we have another closed box. So we're going to fill it with a double crochet and then a double crochet on the outside. And then we're going to be resuming our same mesh pattern for the open boxes with a chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then as you can see, we will have a filled in box here that has a double crochet filled in, and then another double crochet on the outside, but we'll get into that. So now we're just going to be doing our double crochets right here. So as you can see, the block right underneath the one that we're going into is an open block. So we're just going to go ahead and fill in that block with a double crochet, just as you can see, like we did right here. We're just filling in that chain 1 from the previous row. And then as you can see, we're coming across a double crochet from the previous row, so we're just going to double crochet into that. The double crochets from the previous row always get a double crochet on top of it. We now have a filled in box right here. And now again, as you can see in our pattern, we have another closed box. So we're going to go ahead and put another double crochet in that chain 1 space to fill in our box. And then of course a double crochet on the outside. And that finishes off our 2 closed spaces here. And now we're going to go ahead and do our mesh pattern that we've been doing. This double crochet here is the double crochet that we just completed, and that double crochet is shared with this open box. So now we're going to go ahead and chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, because in our graph pattern we have 2 boxes, 2 open boxes here. So we're going to go ahead and make those 2 open boxes. There we go, we have 2 open boxes, and now in our pattern, as you can see, we have a filled in box. So we're going to go ahead and fill in this previous row's box with a double crochet, and then a double crochet on the top of the previous row's double crochet, just like that. So we just filled in this box here, and now we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more mesh boxes until we get to our next filled in box. Chain 1, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, and repeat this until you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have 5 open boxes. And now, as you can see in our pattern, we're just repeating what we did in the last 2 rows, just filling in these boxes here. So basically, we're just going to copy this same exact sequence here that we did for the previous 2 rows with the filled in box, open box, filled in box. So just 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next, the double crochet, and then fill in the box. Just repeating the exact same thing we did in the previous 2 rows. And as you can see, the rest of our pattern is just mesh for this row. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing of doing mesh until I reach the end of this row. Alright, so I just completed row 3. So I'm just going to cross it out. And now we are on row 4, and for row 4 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 again. 16 open boxes until we get to our closed boxes here. So I'm going to go ahead and do those 16 boxes. I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and in that same stitch I'm going to put a double crochet, chain 1, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, and I have made 1 box. And now I'm going to make 15 more until I have a total of 16. Okay, I now have my 16 boxes, my 16 open boxes, and as you can see, again, we are just repeating the exact same thing that we did in the previous 3 rows here. So the next box we have is a filled in box. So we're going to do a double crochet, which is this one right here, and then we're going to do another one which finishes this box and starts the next box. Now we're going to do our chain 1 double crochet for our open box here. So I already chained 1, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, which is this double crochet here that finishes this open box and starts the next closed box. Now we're going to fill in the box by putting a double crochet, and then finish the box by doing another double crochet, finish this closed box here, and then start this next open one, which we have already done this double crochet here, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, until we reach our 2 closed boxes here. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 open boxes now until we get to our next 2 closed boxes. So I'm just going to chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. I have 3 open boxes now, and I just need 1 more. To have 1, 2, 3, 4 open boxes. So going back to our pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4 open boxes. We already have that double crochet done, this one right here. So now we have to fill in our box, then end our box and start the next box, fill in this box, end this box, start the next box. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just basically 5 double crochets. We just finished this box here with this double crochet, and this double crochet also starts our next closed box. So now we're going to go ahead and in this chain 1 space here, which is the chain 1 from the previous row here, we're going to fill in this open box from the previous row by putting a double crochet in that chain 1, and then a double crochet right in the previous row's double crochet here, and that fills in this box and also starts our next closed box. So as you can see, we're now going to fill in the closed box, which, as you can see, let me come in a little closer. This filled in double crochet here lines up with the previous row's filled in double crochet that filled in this chain 1 space. So everything is lining up perfectly as it should, and you want to make sure of that as you're going. So now I just filled in my box here. I did this double crochet here, and now I need to finish this box by putting a double crochet in the next stitch. And as you can see here in our pattern now, we just did this double crochet. Now we need to chain 1 double crochet to do this open box. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next to do 1 open box, which we just did. And now we have a filled in box, which of course we're just going to put a double crochet to fill in the box right here, and then a double crochet on the outside, and then just doing all mesh for the rest. So we just finished our box here, our open box, and now we need to do our filled in box, which we are going to put a double crochet right in the previous row's open box, or that chain one there, to fill it in, and then finish that box with a double crochet there. So this is what we just did, and now we're going to go ahead and chain one, double crochet, chain one, double crochet all the way down until we are finished with our row. What's coming up next, we have closed boxes that we're going to go into. So basically you're going to chain one, skip the next stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain one, skip the next stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain one, skip the chain one space, go into the previous row's double crochet, and as you can see, we are back lined up on track with our mesh. So everything is lining up just perfectly. Chain one, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, chain one, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, and repeating this mesh pattern all the way down. Okay, so now I have finished row, I believe this is row 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, row 4. So now we are on row 5, and I'm just going to count how many of these open boxes we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 open boxes. So now we just need to go ahead and make 19 open boxes until we reach our first little cluster, since there's quite a few here, of closed boxes. So to start the next row, you always chain 2, turn your work, and since that chain 2 does not count as a double crochet, you're going to need to put a double crochet in that same stitch that the chain 2 is in. So that's just what I'm doing now. Chaining 1, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip, go into the next with a double crochet until you have 19 open boxes. Okay, so I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 open boxes, and we need 19, but I just wanted to show you since we have something different here. So I'm just going to chain 1, skip the next, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip this next stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, and now I have my 19 open boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And now as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closed boxes. So what we're going to do is, we already have our double crochet here done for this box. Then we're going to fill it in here, double crochet to finish this closed box and to start the next, double crochet to fill it, double crochet to end this box and start the next, and so on and so forth. Just filling in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total boxes here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to fill in this first box, so 1, and then we're going to end this box and finish and start the next, finish this box, start the next. Then we're going to fill our second box. Then we're going to finish this box, start the next, fill the third box, finish this box, start the next, fill the fourth box, finish this box, start the next, and then we're going to fill that 5th box. And then finish this box and start the next. Just like that. So we filled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes, which is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that is perfect for our pattern. And now in our pattern we have 2 open blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, which we have now made our two open blocks here. Now we are going to make a closed box. So I'm going to go ahead and double crochet into the next space to fill the box, then double crochet in the next space to finish in the next space to finish this box and start the next. The next box is an open box, so I'm going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, go into the next with a double crochet to make an open box. And then as you can see, we have 2 closed boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and close the first box with a double crochet, put a double crochet in the next stitch to finish this box and start the next. Then we have another closed box, so I'm going to put a double crochet in that chain 1 space of the previous row to fill it, put a double crochet in the next stitch to finish that box and start the next. And now until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, until we have 7 blank blocks, we're going to make another filled in box. So I'm going to go ahead and make 7 boxes, 7 open boxes, and then we're going to go ahead and make that filled in box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, skip, go into the next, and we have 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we have a closed box. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the previous row's chain 1 space with a double crochet to fill in that box. And then to finish this box, I'm just going to put a double crochet in the next stitch. So I finished this box, started the next box, which is an open box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I'm going to go ahead and chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next to make my first open box. So you can see we just made our closed box, and now I'm going to make open boxes for the rest of the row. Okay, so now we just completed row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we are on this side going right to left. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 open boxes until we get to 3 closed boxes. So I'm just going to go ahead and chain 2, turn my work, go into the first stitch that the chain 2 is in with a double crochet, chain 1, skip, go into the next stitch with a double crochet, chain 1, skip, go into the next stitch with a double crochet until I have, how many did I say? 6? Yeah, 6 boxes, 6 open boxes. Okay, so now I have my 6 open boxes, and now I have 1, 2, 3 closed boxes. So I already have that double crochet done. Then I'm going to fill it, to fill in the box, double crochet to finish and start the next box. So we're just going to do that exact same thing, doing 3 closed boxes. So I'm going to do my first closed box, put a double crochet in that previous row's chain 1 space, then finish this box and start the next one, fill in my second box, finish this box, start the next one, then finally fill in my third box, finish this one, and start the next box. And now just count how many mesh boxes you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now 6 more open boxes until we get to our next closed box. Now we have a closed box here. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in that box with a double crochet. Finish this box, start the next box with another double crochet. And then the next two boxes are both open boxes. So we're going to go ahead and chain one, skip the next stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain one, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. So now we have our two open boxes, and then we're going to go ahead and do one filled box. So fill in this box, and then finish this box, start the next one with a double crochet, and then we have an open box. We're going to go ahead and chain one, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. Now we have an open box, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 closed boxes. So we're going to go ahead and make those. So close the first box, fill that first box, finish this box, start the next one, fill the second box, finish this box, start the next one, fill the third box, finish this box, start the next one. So we filled 1, 2, 3, and one more. Fill this box and start the next one. And the next one in our pattern is a mesh box. So we're going to go ahead and chain one, skip, go into the next with a double crochet. Then our next box is a filled box. So we're going to go ahead and fill that first box, finish this box, start the next one, which all the rest for this row are all mesh boxes, just the open boxes. There's 19 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this row making my 19 open boxes. Okay, so I finished making my 19 open boxes. So I finished this row. I'm going to go on to the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and do probably quite a few more rows on my own, and then we will meet back up maybe somewhere up around here, and then we'll probably just go through some more rows together just to make sure everything is making sense. And I have a bunch of other tips and things that I will share once we are done with explaining this part of the pattern. Probably once we're done with this entire piece with this top, I'll probably explain quite a few more things. Like if you needed this to be wider, I'll explain how to do that. I'll also explain how you should probably make a gauge swatch like I did. So I'm going to go ahead and explain that. So I would watch this video in its entirety before you start anything, just because I'm kind of going through this myself. I probably will call this a tutorial because it is turning into somewhat more so that, but I am still a beginner filet crocheter. So I'm learning things as I go, and I kind of just wanted to share that with you, go through the whole process with you. And I think we're doing great. So I'm going to go ahead and do quite a few more rows, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. This is what I have so far. Just wanted to show you, this is what I have so far. It's hard to see on a dark background. So here, let me just show you what I have so far. I know it's looking like nothing, but soon, hopefully, it will look like something. I'm very, very happy with it. I have been wanting to learn filet crochet for probably years now, and I'm so happy that I'm finally getting to do it. So I'm very excited. I'm so excited to see how this turns out. But I'm gonna go ahead and do quite a few more rows, and I'll see you guys very soon. Okay, so it is a day later. I am on row 38, I believe it is. I'm on row 38. As you can see, this is all I've gotten done so far. So I need to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 open boxes of our mesh. So I'm going to go ahead and reattach my yarn here. Chain 2, turn my work, and make 10 open boxes. As you can see, we chain 2, turned our work, and in that same stitch with the chain 2 is in, we put a double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip, double crochet in the next, until we have 10 mesh stitches for our open boxes on our grid. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 open boxes, which is perfect. So I just marked that off on my grid. And now we have 2 closed boxes to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. So I'm going to fill in the box. That's what this double crochet is, because as you can see here, this is what we've already done. This stitch is the stitch beforehand. We did the double crochet, chain 1 double crochet. Sorry, I'm just going to rewind just so you guys can see what I mean by that. So this is what we just did, the double crochet, chain 1 double crochet. And that is exactly what this is right here. So now what we need to do is we need to fill this double crochet to make this closed box. So fill it with the double crochet and then do another double crochet to finish this box and start the next box. And then we need to fill this box with a double crochet and then finish this box, start the next box with a double crochet and then a chain 1 double crochet, chain 1 double crochet. So that's what we're going to do right now. So what we have so far is, of this box so far, we have this double crochet from the previous little box here. So we already have that one. So now we need to fill our box and then finish this box and start the next one. So that means we need to do 2 double crochets. So we're going to now fill our box with a double crochet. And then we're going to finish this box, start the next one with another double crochet. And then we're going to fill the next box, this double crochet right here. And then we're going to finish this box and start the next one by putting another double crochet in that stitch. So now we have just completed this right here. So now we need to go ahead and do our double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, chain 1 double crochet for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5, so we need to do 1 more, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next. So now we have 5 boxes that are open. So now we have a closed box. So remember, we already have part of our closed box done from the previous box because they both share this double crochet. So as you can see here, this little leg right here is part of this box. This double crochet here is this double crochet right here technically. So we're going to go ahead now and fill our box with a double crochet. So go ahead and fill your box with a double crochet to close it. And then we are going to finish this box, start the next one with another double crochet. There we go. So we just finished that one. And then we're going to now do another, just a blank mesh stitch. So we're just going to chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. We just did an open box. And now we need to do 1, 2, 3 closed boxes. So we're going to fill that box, start the next one, finish this box, start the next one. So this middle double crochet here is filling in the box, this one right here. And then this double crochet right here finishes this box and starts the next box because they share. They share so nicely. So then we now have our second filled box. So then we're going to finish this box and start the next one. So now I'm going to do one more, fill in the third box, finish it, and start the next one. And as you can see, we have a mesh stitch next. So we're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next one to make our box. So as you can see, we now have an open box. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 closed boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and fill the first box. Then I'm going to finish this box and start the next one. Fill the second box. Finish the second box, start the third. Fill the third. Finish the third, start the fourth. Fill the fourth. Now here I'm filling the sixth box. Finishing the sixth box. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we just finished these closed boxes here. And up next we have a mesh stitch. So I'm going to chain 1, oops, which I already did, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. Now we have a closed box, so we're going to go ahead and fill that box, then finish it, and start the next box, which is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then a chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So 3 open boxes next. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, and there we have our 3 open boxes. And now we have all of those boxes done. We need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closed boxes. So I'm going to fill the first box, finish the first box, and start the next one. Fill the second box, finish the second box, start the third box, and now I'm going to fill the third box, finish it, and start the next one. Fill the fourth box, finish the fourth box, and start the next one. Fill the fifth box, and then finish the fifth box. Got those done, and now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes, 6 open boxes left. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left, which is perfect. Okay, so now I'm just going to continue on with my pattern. I just kind of wanted to review what we've been doing together just one more time before we continue on. So hopefully I will get this all finished by tomorrow, and then what we can work on next is the shoulder panels, and then we can go ahead and make the back panel and so on and so forth until we have a completely finished top. And I'm so excited about this. It's looking really, really good. I know it's hard to tell right now on such a light background. Let me see if I can find something dark so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what she is looking like so far. I am extremely, extremely happy with how this is turning out. I don't think I've seen it against a dark background yet, and I am so happy. I am so happy. I don't know, for a second, once it's behind a dark background, like you immediately see it. And when it was behind my white backdrop here that I have for filming, I was like, okay, where is the flower? Where is she? But now I completely see it, and I am so excited to keep going and see how this comes out. Now this is the start of the flower, these little petals here. So it is almost done. It is very, very close. We are nearing the end. So I'm just gonna zip right through and finish this hopefully by tomorrow so we can get started on finishing this, because I'm thinking I want to get this done by the weekend so I can get some pictures, because we have some beautiful sun. So hopefully I can get this done by the weekend, but we shall see, because I have the shoulder panels to do, and I have the back panel to do, and I have the little sleeves to do. I think I've settled on doing a short sleeve for this. Like, I don't want to do a tank top. I want to do kind of somewhat of a sleeve, and then like maybe a scalloped border, a picot border, some type of border all the way around it. So I'm not quite sure if I will get it done by the weekend, but you know, a girl can dream. So we'll see, think positive. But I just wanted to show you what it was looking like so far. So I will see you guys either tomorrow or the next day once I have the graph part all finished, and then we can work on the final row and then the shoulder panels. But I will see you guys very soon. Okay, I can't really get the entire thing in the frame, but I have finished the filet pattern, the graph pattern. It's all finished. I completed all the rows, and now what we're going to do is work on the shoulder panels. But let's just take a moment and appreciate how absolutely stunning this looks. I am so happy with it. This was my first filet crochet thing that I made, and this is my second, and I'm very proud of what I've done so far. I'm very, very happy with it. So now we're going to work on the shoulder panels. As you can see here, I'm just putting this whole piece right in front of my body, and wherever I want the neckline to be, I'm just adding my stitch markers in. And now I have the piece down here on my working table, but I need to make sure that I have the same amount of stitches on either side. I still haven't checked that, and from what I can see right now, it does not look like it's the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and count on either side and make sure that both sides are even. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, and 14. So now it is 14 on either side, which is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it up against my body again and make sure that it looks the way that I want it. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our rows for the shoulder panels. So I just have to find where I left off. So I'm gonna go ahead and reattach my yarn. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to, for the shoulder panels, make like, I'm not quite sure how many rows of mesh, but maybe let's start with like 3 to 4 rows of just the double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip a stitch. Just this same mesh here that we've been doing. But I'm thinking about 3 to 4 rows should be plenty. So now we're going to start our shoulder panels. I'm going to go ahead and chain 2 like we have been doing this entire time. And I'm going to double crochet in that same stitch that the chain 2 is in. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. And just keep on going with this until I reach my stitch marker. So now I've reached my stitch marker, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my final double crochet in and remove my stitch marker because I don't need it anymore. And here I have my first row of my shoulder panel. So we have 1 row. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and chain 2, turn my work, and in that same stitch that the chain 2 is in, I'm going to put a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, and again repeat this exact same mesh pattern all the way down the row. Okay, so row 2 is done. Now I'm going to go ahead and chain 2, turn my work, and repeat the exact same thing. Double crochet in the same stitch that the chain 2 is in. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet. Just repeating exactly what we did in row 2 for however many rows that you need for your shoulder panel. I'm probably going to do about 4, and then of course however many you do is dependent upon your size. So I'm going to go ahead and do about 4 and see how that fits, and I'll see you guys once we are both done with our shoulder panel. Okay, so I'm just going to do the 4 rows because that ended up being perfect for me. So to end this, I am just going to chain 1, cut my yarn, pull out my hook, give it a good little tighten there, And now we have our first shoulder panel done. So now what we need to do is go to the other side and repeat the exact same thing that we did on this side on this side. So to get started, you're just going to attach your yarn in this double crochet here, right next to the chain 2. So you're just going to attach your yarn here. And then I'm going to chain 2, and in that same stitch I'm going to put a double crochet, chain 1, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, and just repeat the exact same steps that we did for the other side. And I'm going to do 4 rows since I did 4 rows on this side, and you just repeat however many rows on the other side on this side. Now for the back panel, we are just going to go ahead and chain however many chains that we did for the front panel. So for me that was 93, so I'm going to go ahead and chain 93 to start the back panel. Now that I have my chain amount, I'm going to skip the first 2 chains and go into the third with a half double crochet. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put in every single chain 1 half double crochet all the way down the row. Just the same thing that we did for the front panel. Just 1 half double crochet in every single chain all the way down the chain. And once you reach the end, you're going to go ahead and chain 2 and turn your work. And in that same stitch that the chain 2 is in, you're going to go ahead and put a double crochet in that same stitch, because now for this row we're going to be starting our mesh. So we have a double crochet in that stitch. We're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, and just repeat this same mesh pattern all the way down the row. And we're just going to be repeating this exact same thing, the exact same mesh pattern that we did for the front panel. We're going to do just the exact same thing, but for the back panel, you just do it the entire time. There's no pattern or graph or anything. So once you get to your final stitch, here we have our first row here of our mesh. Once you get to the final stitch, you're going to go ahead and chain 2 and turn your work. And now we are on row 2, and row 2 is the one that repeats itself all the way throughout this mesh pattern. So in that same stitch that the chain 2 is in, you're going to put a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, skip a stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, and just completely repeat this all the way down. Double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet, chain 1, skip, until you reach the end of the row, where you're going to chain 2, turn your work. In that same stitch that the chain 2 is in, you're going to put a double crochet, then you're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, go into the next with a double crochet, and just repeat row 2 for the entirety of the back panel. And you're just going to do however many rows you did for the front panel, you're just going to repeat that same amount of rows for the back panel. I believe I remember it was 61 rows, I believe. So my back panel is of course going to be 61 rows as well. So here I am on row 3. I already chained 2 and turned my work, and I'm just going to be repeating the exact same thing I did in row 2 by putting a double crochet in the same stitch that the chain 2 is in, chaining 1, skipping that chain 1 space from the row below, putting a double crochet in the previous row's double crochet, chain 1, skip, put a double crochet in the next, And just repeating this for a total of 61 rows. And once we are done, we'll meet back up and talk about what we're going to do next. Okay, so I got my back panel all finished, and I repeated the exact same thing for the shoulder panels that I did on the front panel. So just go ahead and do that if you haven't already. Just repeat the exact same process. And now I'm going to sew the top part here, the shoulder panels of both the back and the front panel together. So I'm going to go grab my yarn here and a tapestry needle. So I'm just going to cut out not too long of a length of yarn, just because this is such a small section to seam up. So now I have my yarn attached to my tapestry needle. So I am just going to whip stitch the shoulder panels on the front and back panel together. So we want to make sure that both panels are lined up, because we want to make sure that on both sides, on each side, we are putting our tapestry needle in the same stitch on the front and back, so just line them up very nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my tapestry needle in the first stitch on both the front and back panel. There we go. And then I'm just going to tie my yarn on real quick. So now I'm going to go into this stitch right here, this next double crochet in the row. I'm going to go right through that double crochet and then the corresponding double crochet on the other side. I'm just going to pull my yarn through, and then I'm going to bring my tapestry needle and yarn back over to this side, this front side here of my work, and I'm going to go into the next double crochet on the front and back panels, on both front and back panels. Then I'm going to bring my tapestry needle and yarn back over here and do the exact same thing. And just keep on going until you're all the way down your row. Just making sure that you are lining everything up perfectly. Now I'm just going through the final double crochet. And then see here that final loop that we made? We're actually going to go under that loop to secure in place, and then tighten it a bit. And there you can see we've seamed up the shoulder panel. And now I'm just going to go ahead and weave in this end while it's attached already. There we go. That's what it looks like on the right side. We are inside out right now, but we're going to flip it back once we have all the seaming done. But now I'm going to go ahead and repeat the exact same thing that we did over here on the other side. Okay, so both sides are now seamed up, looking nice and even. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this on over my head just so I can see, because I'm kind of concerned about the length of this, and I honestly did not take that into consideration when I was crocheting this. So I am going to try it on and just see, because this is really long. Okay, so here's what it looks like on. I'm not as mad with the length as I thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to hate it, but I actually don't. So I'm wondering, because my initial thought, if this was going to be like too long, was to seam up starting like maybe right here and up, so then I had like these little flaps going on, which I'm not sure if that's still a good idea or not. Honestly, now that it's on, I'm kind of debating on that possibility. So I feel like that would be kind of cute, just to leave like a little bit of a side flap on either side. I don't know, I think that might be cute actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and pinch where I want my armholes to be. because I'm thinking right around here possibly. And of course I'm gonna have to tweak this because I don't think I have them lined up perfectly on either side. But just to get like a rough idea, go ahead and try it on and then attach a stitch marker where you think it would be best. Oh, darn, I just popped my stitch marker off. Hold on. Also, as you can see, I crocheted this back panel a lot tighter than I did the front panel. As you can see, it looks significantly shorter than the front panel, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, which is a good thing to take into consideration for my next one that I'm making as soon as I'm done with this one. But yeah, no, we're just experimenting here. Okay, so this is not lined up well at all, so I'm going to go ahead and line this up better because I did not line it up properly. So I'm going to go ahead and count how many stitches I have. Let me just use my tape measure here. Usually I do like around 6 inches for an armhole. I'm not sure why my stitch marker is all the way down here. But maybe I'll just do, like, because this is like 9 right now. I feel like that's kind of a lot. I don't know. Let me measure my arm. Honestly, I feel like 8 might be the longest I kind of want to go. So I'm probably gonna bump this up here a little bit. And I'm going to have to count my rows down to make sure that they're even. Also, that's a little more than 8. I'll bump it up a little more. So I'm gonna go ahead and count my rows, every single one, to make sure that everything is lined up on both sides, that I'm in the same spot on the front panel and the back panel. Okay, so I counted the rows on either side, and I have 24 now on each side, so it's joined perfectly. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, 24 on that side, 24 on this side. Okay. So my only concern now at this point is the length difference of the two panels, and I don't know if it's gonna block out to be right, but honestly, let's just see. I don't know. Okay, so I got that all done on both sides, the 24 and the 24. So now we just need to figure out the slit portion that I wanted to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and count the rows up, same thing that I did here, and just kind of see where this stitch marker is in that I put randomly. 18, so it's in the 18th spot on this side. Let's check the other side, the 18th row. Okay. So there's 18 rows right here. So then that means all I'm seaming up, since this is a slit and then this is the armhole, I'm only going to be seaming up this part right here, right in between the stitch markers. And I'm actually gonna put this on one more time just to make sure that these armholes aren't too big, because they're looking honestly way too big, because usually I do my armholes like 6 to 7 inches, and 8 inches just seems like a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it on just to check. Always do that though, always check before you continue on, because you don't wanna have to redo everything. I'm probably just gonna keep it, actually. It's not terrible. So I think I'm just gonna keep it. If I have to redo it and frog it, I'm only doing a short sleeve anyway, so no biggie. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and seam up the side here, right in between my two stitch markers, and I'm gonna do that on both sides, right in here and right in here. So I'm just gonna grab a piece of yarn that's somewhat long, but not like massively long. That is, of course, longer than the shoulder panel lengths that we got out for yarn, because it is, you know, longer. So I'm just going to insert my tapestry needle in any of these available stitches here And again, you want to make sure for this as well that every single row is perfectly lined up, the front and back panels. And this sides here that we're seaming up, they do not have any set stitches to go into, so you're kind of just guessing the best available stitch to go into next. So I'm just doing that same whip stitching method on the side here, just going in any available stitch all the way down until I reach my next stitch marker over there. Alright, I already took out my stitch marker, and then I'm just going to go under that final loop that we made, tighten, and there we have our little seamed up section on the side. And I'm just going to go ahead and weave in this end real fast. And now that I have completed this section right here, I'm going to go ahead and go over to this section and do the exact same thing of seaming up this side. Okay, now I'm going to do a half double crochet border around the neckline. So just putting one half double crochet in every single stitch. I'm just going to attach my yarn in any of the stitches at all. Then I'm going to tie my yarn on, insert my hook into the stitch, pull up a loop and chain one. In that same stitch, I'm going to put one half double crochet since that chain one doesn't count as a stitch. And then in that chain one space here, I'm going to put a half double crochet, then a half double crochet right in this stitch, in this next stitch here. And then as you can see, once we get into these edge sections, we don't have our set stitches to go into. So I'm just in the gap, I'm putting one half double crochet, and then in this small space here I'm putting a half double crochet. So just any available stitch that you see, just put one half double crochet into that available stitch and that available spot, making sure to place them as evenly as possible. I'm just putting them under the post of the double crochet, or in this case technically the chain two, since this is the chain two here. And then I'm putting another one in this little space right here, under the post, and then in this little space right here. And now we're reaching the portion where we have the double crochet, chain one double crochet, which we're just going to put a half double crochet in the chain one space, and then a half double crochet on top of the previous row's double crochet, then in the chain one space, then on top of the double crochet, until we reach the other side here, this section here, and we're going to do the exact same thing of putting one half double crochet in every available stitch, and then doing the same thing that we're doing right now with a half double crochet in the chain one space and on top of the previous row's double crochet. And then once we get all the way around, we are going to slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet that we made, cut our yarn, or if you want to do more than one row of the half double crochet border, you are more than welcome to do that, but I'm just going to do one row, I think. Alright, and I'm just slip stitching into the first half double crochet that I made, chaining one, cutting my yarn, and again, if you want to do more rows, you are more than welcome to do that, but I just did one. So now I am going to do the border around, because you can see this edge is a little bit rough. it's not as clean as I want it to be. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a half double crochet border all the way around here, like starting from the back, one of these back stitches here, going all the way around, and then around this edge here, and then this edge, and then all the way down, and then around and around, and then connecting again, just kind of how we did for the neckline here. Just the exact same thing basically, but down here we're gonna do it. So I'm going to connect my yarn in one of these bottom stitches of the back panel. Okay, so I'm going to reinsert my hook back into that stitch and pull up a loop, chain one, and then half double crochet in the same stitch, and then just a half double crochet in every single stitch all the way down. And then yeah, just repeating the exact same thing that we did for the neckline. We're just doing it this time on the bottom. And then once we get to this edge here, we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did right here. Just put our half double crochets in the available stitches. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do the sleeves, and I already did one sleeve, and as you can see I only did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. And of course if you want to make this into a sweater, you can make it full length sleeve, you can honestly leave it without a sleeve, whatever you want to do, but I'm just doing the 5 rows for mine. So to start it out, in the armpit area I'm just going to attach my yarn in just one of these spots here, maybe right here. Actually, I'm going to do it right here in this little gap right here. And then I'm just going to insert my hook into the same stitch that I attached my yarn in. And then I'm going to chain 2. And in that same stitch, I'm going to put a double crochet, since that chain 2 does not count as a double crochet. And then I'm going to chain 1, because we're going to resume our same mesh stitch that we did for the entirety of the back panel. We're just going to do the exact same mesh stitch all the way around for the sleeves. Just like that. So now I did a double crochet and a chain 1. And now I'm going to go into this next little gap here, because we're essentially trying to skip a stitch, as you can see, to leave the holes for the mesh. Then I'm going to chain 1 and skip a stitch basically, and go into that same section area that we did over here. Chain 1, skip. I'm going to go into that same little gap section there with a double crochet, chain 1, go into that same space with a double crochet, chain 1, go into that same space with a double crochet, just like that. And this row, the first row, is the hardest, and then all the rest are nice and simple, because we're just going to be going into the top of the double crochet from the previous row. So it's much simpler than this row. Just going to go in that gap there with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, just going into those gaps. And I'm just going to continue this all the way around. And then we are going to do row 2 together, and then after that, row 2 just repeats itself for however long you want your sleeve to be. So I'm going to go ahead and finish
this row, then we'll do row 2 together, and then you just go ahead and repeat row 2 for however long you need your sleeve to be. Okay, so once you've reached all the way around, you're going to go ahead and slip stitch in the first double crochet that you made. Then you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and in that same stitch that the chain 2 is in, you're going to put a double crochet, and this is starting row 2. So now we have our chain 2 and double crochet in the same stitch, then we're going to chain 1, skip, go into the previous row's double crochet with a double crochet, chain 1, skip, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet, and just completely follow this same mesh pattern that we did for the back panel for your sleeves. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that for however many rows I need. I'm just going to do 5. You do however many you need to do. And I will see you once we're both done with our sleeves. Okay, so I've done my 5 rows, and now I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet that I made of the row, and then I'm going to chain 1, and in that same stitch I'm going to put a half double crochet, and I'm just going to do a half double crochet in every single stitch all the way around. So in that chain 1 space, and in the top of the previous row's double crochet, in the chain 1 space, in the top of the previous row's double crochet, and so on and so forth all the way around. So just 1 half double crochet in every single stitch all the way around. Okay, so now I'm just going to slip stitch in the first half double crochet that I made. Chain 1, cut my yarn, and the sleeve is finished. So now I'm just going to weave in all of the ends, and then I'm going to go ahead and block it, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so now that my first filet crochet top that I have is working on blocking right now, I am going to start another one today, but before I do, I kind of wanted to explain a couple things first. So here I have I'm not sure, wait, which way does it go now? It's so hard for me to see this one sometimes. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is technically what I'm using and what I have used as my gauge swatch. And I definitely, for this top over here that's blocking right now, it is definitely a tad bit tight on the sides. And I'm going to fix that for my next one. This one is 15 boxes wide. Also, it is 15 rows long. So to see, let's start off with how wide it is first. So mine is 15 boxes, but I would go ahead and make your swatch 10 rows by 10 boxes. That should be good enough. Honestly, 5 if you want to, but I feel like maybe just do a 10 boxes wide and then 10 rows long, just to see with your yarn type and the hook that you're using and everything, how wide it's going to be. And then you have to do a little bit of math. So first thing, we need to get some measurements. So you're going to wrap your measuring tape halfway around your body at the largest part of your bust. So I'm going from underneath my armpit and bringing my measuring tape across the largest part of my bust, and then bringing it back to underneath my armpit on the other side. So that is going to be half, technically, of my all the way around bust measurement, because we're just figuring out how wide we need our first our panels to be, our front and our back panels. So if I want my next one to be 24 inches, let me write that down. And this swatch right here, these 15 boxes wide, is about 4.5 inches. Now I need to do some cross multiplication to figure out how many boxes that I need for my next one in order to make it the size that I want it. So what I'm going to do is do some math. Since I have 15 boxes wide, I'm going to put 15 I'm gonna write 15 down, and you write how many boxes wide that you have down. And then it's gonna go over X. And now we know that 15 boxes wide for me is 4.5 inches. So you go ahead and measure how many inches your 10 boxes wide, or however many boxes wide you have yours. And then you're going to go ahead and put it across from the 15. So mine is about 4.5. And now I'm going to put that number over 24 inches, which is how wide I want my top to be. Over 24. So then I'm going to take 15, which is this number, multiply it by this number underneath our 4.5. So multiply 15 by 24. Multiply your boxes that you have wide by the inches that you want your top to be. So 15 times 24. And then you're going to divide that by 4.5, or however many inches your 15 boxes, or however many boxes are. So 15 times 24 divided by 4.5 is 80. So that means I need to have 80 boxes wide. So then you go ahead and do that math to figure out how many boxes wide that you need. And now next, to figure out the length that we want, basically you're just going to do the exact same thing. I have 15 rows, and however many rows that you have, you're going to go ahead and put at the top over X. And then for me, these 15 rows here is about 5 inches, so I'm going to put 5 inches over, and now let me see, I'm not quite sure how many inches long I want mine to be, so let me go ahead and check. So what you do for that is you put your measuring tape around the top of your shoulder area, and then you go down for however long you want it. I'm saying probably around, let's see, let me stand up to make sure it's accurate. I'm gonna say probably 18 inches. So we'll put that underneath our 5. So we have 15 rows over X, and then 5 inches, which is how long our 15 rows is, over 18, which is how many inches long we want our front panel. So then we'll just do the math for that. So 15 times 18 divided by 5 is 54. 54 rows long. Okay, so now that helps us a bunch, because mine over here that's blocking is too tight and too long. So hopefully we can resolve that for the next one that I'm making. So now that we know our measurements and the math of all of this, so that is how you figure it out. This up here was our 15 boxes, and this number here is the width of our 15 boxes right here. And then 24 inches is how wide I want my top to be, and of course you can adjust this measurement if you want it to be form-fitting or more oversized, but this number is definitely up to you and your desired fit. And you take 15 times 24 divided by 4.5, and then you get your boxes wide that you need. And the same thing goes for this, for how many rows long that you need your top to be. Okay, so this is my next graph pattern, and how many boxes across it is 25, but remember, for what we're doing, which is filet crochet, we need to multiply that by 2, which comes to 50, which is still not enough because we need at least 80 boxes wide. So first thing you need to do is figure out how many more stitches that you need. So if this is 50 and I need 80, I'm going to do 50 minus 80, which is 30. So 50, which is the amount of boxes here, minus 80 is 30. So now I know that I need to add at least 8 boxes on each side, because 8 times 2 is 16, and 16 on each side equals about that 30 extra boxes that we need. Instead of just in my brain manually adding in the 8 boxes, because that's kind of hard for me, I'm more of a visual person, I actually added a graph behind this, and as you can see there are 8 boxes on this side and 8 boxes on this side. So now I can visualize it a lot better and see all the boxes in one place rather than having to just manually add them. So I would recommend doing that if you're more of a visual person like I am. So to find out our beginning chain, we have 8 boxes on this side, and then we have another 25. 8 plus 25 plus 8, which we have 8 boxes on this side, equals 41 times 2 is 82. Okay, so if I have 8 boxes here, 25 here, and 8 here, then I take 8 plus 25 plus 8 equals 41, and then of course remember how I explained in the beginning that you always take your beginning number of boxes here that you count and multiply that by 2. So 41 times 2 equals 82, which is perfect because we needed 80 boxes wide at least. And it's probably better to do a little bit extra, so I have 82 here, which is perfect. So 82 plus 1 to start the first box, so that's 83. And then we need plus 2 for the turning chain, so I need to chain 85 for this graph pattern. Also, I'm going to be using Rainbow Cotton 8/4. I would recommend using a 100% cotton yarn for filet crochet, and also in a solid color. One that changes color, like a variegated type yarn, it's harder to see the finished product on a yarn type like that, so I would recommend using a solid color yarn if you can, in 100% cotton. I almost forgot, now we need to figure out the length, because remember we figured out the length here that I need, for me personally, I need about 18 inches here, which is 54 rows long. And for my project, for my graph here, it's only 41, so I'm gonna need to add some just plain mesh rows, just how we did the back panel on our other one, just plain double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet, just that same mesh pattern. I'm gonna need to add some rows of that to the bottom and to the top to increase the length of this, because 41 probably would be, you know, fine, but it would be what I wanted if I added about 6 rows to the top and the bottom. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add 6 rows to the bottom of the mesh and 6 rows to the top once I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and start right now with my chain of 85. Okay, I actually forgot that I wanted this one to be a bit more oversized, so I added 4 more boxes to each side, which is 12, so I added 12 and 12. So now we have 12 plus 25 plus 12. Let's figure out our new beginning chain, because our old one was 85 and that was more form-fitting. I kind of forgot about that I wanted this one to be oversized. So we have 12 here, plus 25 for this bug, plus another 12 boxes over here, equals 49, times 2 is 98, and then plus 1 to start the first box, and then plus 2 for the turning chain gives us a total of 101. So I'm going to go ahead now and chain 101. Sorry about that. Okay, I have my chain of 101. And now I'm going to go ahead, since I have always my first row is going to be a half double crochet in every stitch, just because I like to start my filet crochet, my tapestry crochet, all in a nice half double crochet row. It's just harder to start it in a chain. So I'm going to go ahead and even just to start the mesh in a chain, it's not as enjoyable. I don't know, that's just me, I guess, but that's why I have my extra 2 that I have chained, so I can do this. So I've chained my extra 2 already for the turning chain, so now I'm going to skip 2 and go into the 3rd chain with my first half double crochet, and then again just put 1 half double crochet in every single chain all the way down, just like we did with the first design. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on going with this 1/2 double crochet in every stitch until I get to the end chain here. And then I'm just going to repeat the exact same process that I did for the back panel for just 6 rows, just to do 6 rows of just plain mesh. And then I'm going to go ahead and start my graph pattern here and just do the exact same thing that we did on the front panel, just following those exact same guidelines. And then once I'm done with the graph pattern, I'm going to go ahead and again then do 6 rows of just plain mesh and then do the shoulder panels, just repeat the exact same thing. But I just wanted to explain really fast kind of how to add rows to the top and bottom, how to add it to the sides to make it fit you properly, so no matter what size graph you find, you can easily make it work for you. Also, if you want the design not to be in the center, you can add more rows to the bottom if you want the design to be higher up, like kind of like more on your chest rather than in the middle of your top. You can add more rows to the bottom and then add fewer rows to the top. So you can adjust this in so many different ways. I just wanted to show you the math, how to add these things, give you a couple tips and tricks on how I do it and how I add the graph in the background. You don't have to do that if you're not as visual as I am, but it just helps me a lot when I am going and doing this whole process. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my entire top here and finish it up. Okay, so I got the front panel done. The bug is absolutely adorable. I will have a link to this graph pattern in my description, but I am going to now be working on the back panel. So hopefully I'll get that done by the weekend so then it can be blocking. I have my other one that's been blocking for 2 days and it's still extremely wet. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe bring it outside or something just to let the nice air flow on it, but it is still super wet. So I'm probably gonna bring it outside today. But I'm going to be working on the back panel today and we'll see how far I can get. That's the baby, he's with me, but yeah, we'll see how far I can get today.
Okay, so both tops are now finished. I was debating on making another one, but my husband was like, girl, rest your hands, 2 is enough. So I am now officially in love with filet crochet. It was honestly, once I kind of did that visualization of looking at the graph and seeing it as more like the boxes, the lines of the boxes were the double crochets, and then the top of the box was a chain 1, and the filled in boxes are just 1 double crochet to fill it in. Honestly, seeing that visual really helped so much in the entire process of learning filet crochet, and I am super excited to possibly make a skirt now or a dress or something. I will probably make a process video or a tutorial for something like that later on in the year, but if you guys are interested in something like that, let me know. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I hope this all was well explained for you and that you could understand it, because I was truly panicking over some of the things that I was reading and I wasn't understanding it and grasping it. And I know this isn't like a technical way of explaining it, but it just helps me to learn things once it's broken down in a simpler way. So yeah, that is the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all your love and support. Don't forget to tag me if you make one of these, if you make a filet crochet pattern and you learn from my tutorial. I want to see your success stories. But I had so much fun with this video and I hope that you guys did too. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. I will show you now the finished tops tried on, and I hope you like them. Bye guys!